Hey you guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I want to explore around the topic of purpose. If you've seen any of my previous videos, you know I'm not a big fan of rights and wrongs and this is how it's done, this is the truth, this is what it is. I'm actually learning to enjoy the questions more than the answers, because I believe that if we dare to live and continue to live our lives in exploring mode, we can get so much more out of it. And when we continue to repeat the mantra, I might be wrong, we open up to endless possibilities for our lives to evolve and grow and change, and for us to change our minds, for paradoxes to be part of our lives, and for not having to be so sure about ourselves and so rigid in our thoughts. I don't think that's what we need right now. So when it comes to the topic of purpose, of course there are books, there are courses, there are so many lines of thought when it comes to discovering and living your purpose. But I want to give some insight of the things that I think about when I think about purpose. First of all, I don't think that purpose is very specific. I think that a purpose, just as an intention, is more of a general idea. My purpose is to live my life in the most fulfilling way I can and serve as many people as possible along the way. That could be a purpose. A life purpose can be to be the light in whatever room you enter, in whatever phase you are in your own life. A purpose can be to explore life and learn more about myself as I go along. A purpose can be to be the best version of myself, including taking care of myself when I'm not. A purpose can be so many things, but I hear so often from people in my surroundings, from clients, from friends, what am I supposed to do with my life? And as a career coach who used to work as a career and talent manager for the Nordic and Baltic countries, I've certainly had a lot of these conversations. And I actually used to do a coaching program internally at the company that I worked for 10 years that was very specifically designed towards finding your niche, your thing, your next best career move. And I think that was valuable to some people in some areas. And of course, all of it is just a way of getting to know yourself better, of exploring your strengths and your values, and of figuring out what sparks you, what gives you joy. And I think that's a clear direction for us to go towards. But I also heard something very interesting from Shetty. I know he releases his new book, Think Like a Monk, any day now. And I heard him in an interview recently when he talked about figuring out your purpose by starting looking at your curiosities. He meant that if you just focus on what you're curious about, follow your curiosity, you will soon spark an interest. And if you continue investing in this interest, soon you will have a new passion. And when you combine your passion with compassion, meaning how can my passion serve others? Well, then you have a purpose. And as I said in the beginning, there's no fixed way of doing anything, but I think that framing was very good because it starts now. It starts with one small step that you can take today. What are you curious about today? Give yourself the space and time to go explore that. And it might actually turn into an interest after a while. And if you continue to feed that interest, it will be your passion. And when you know what your passion is, I think it's much easier to just combine that with compassion for the world and figure out how that passion can lead to someone else's joy as well. Like me, for example, when I was really, really sick, I had a curiosity in writing to explore my own state and figure out ways of looking at things and reflecting about my situation. So I was curious about writing about it. So I started an anonymous blog. And I continued to write in this blog, and after a while I chose to share it and tell people that I had this blog. And it grew and it became an interest. And after a while of also getting feedback from people about this blog, I was so passionate about writing and knowing that what I was writing was actually helping people. So as soon as that also was combined with me serving people through my writing, I knew that that was part of my purpose. But it started with the curiosity. I didn't write my first blog post thinking that that was going to be part of my purpose. But I still don't want to narrow it down to saying that writing about life and love is my purpose. It's an expression of my purpose. I haven't really defined my own purpose, actually. I think it's more of, if I would say one thing that I think is my purpose, it's to be an expression of love and light in this world. And as an expression of being love and light in this world, yeah, I can do a lot of different things. I don't have to continue doing what I'm doing right now. But as soon as I knew that that was the direction I wanted to go in, I knew that I couldn't continue in my previous job, for example, because I didn't feel like I contributed in that way by sitting in my corner office making fancy PowerPoints for 5 to 6 years strategy plans. That didn't bring me love or light or joy. So I knew I needed to do something else. And the way I live my life today, as I said in the video about intentions, I don't even have goals for myself anymore. I have an intention. I have a direction. I have a purpose. And then I have my core desired feelings. And those are my guideposts. It doesn't really matter what I do, but I also have a lot of trust in knowing that as long as I'm doing what lights me up today and what brings any kind of service or joy or compassion or support to someone else, well, then I'm doing the right thing. And I also know from experience that that thing will lead to the next thing, to the next thing, to the next thing. So your purpose doesn't have to be so far-fetched or even very specific. And you don't have to keep your same expression of your purpose for your entire life either. Just follow your curiosity, follow joy, and know that if you give yourself space and time to explore yourself and what you love, the next step will reveal itself in time. I promise. If you want help in exploring this for yourself and taking yourself through the exploration of these questions or your curiosities or interests or passions, I'm always here to help. You can just let me know and we'll set up a discovery session and see if we want to work together. But for now, follow your curiosity and know that you don't have to have it all figured out. The future is uncertain. It's always been uncertain. So focus on the now. I actually have that right there. It just reminds me to not focus on yesterday or tomorrow, but focus on now. I'm so grateful that you're here. Please share in the comments any thoughts or reflections you have about this. And I wish you a beautiful rest of the week. Bye.